But if I know it's going to kill you, I'm going to stop you. If I know you're going to get hurt, go deal with the pain because you have to understand what you just did.
So you're gonna trust her judgment? What if she?
Unless I know it's going to kill her.
What if she comes home one day and like, Dad, this is my fiance Mandingo 93, and we're just gonna start this shit live.
The only time I caught the Holy Ghost was when I was in church drinking.
Like they're two dumb dudes. Welcome to the latest episode of Sarath and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast. Oh god damn! See, as soon as I hit the record button, this dang screen popped up. I'm telling you, man, this is technology. This technology just be throwing me off sometimes. It allows us to do some cool stuff, like obviously record this podcast. But you know, the little pop-ups and all that shit just be throwing me off sometimes.
Well, talk to your Asian buddies and at IT. Tell them to fix all this shit.
First of all, this is Microsoft. This computer's Microsoft. Second of all, I happen to have two brothers who work in IT, so there might be some truth to what you just said.
Oh man, just saying. Oh man.
Well, with that being said, welcome to today's episode of Sarath and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast. It's your boy Sarath, aka Makazi,
and your boy Chris Brown, aka Red Fort Delta. How's everybody doing out there?
Well, I hope they're doing good because we got a brand new movie on the horizon. One that just popped up, just out the ether, and it caught my attention. So I was like, you know what? Let's do this for the podcast this week instead of digging into the crates.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's been a while since we watched a nice comedy, right?
I can't tell you the last time we watched the comedy. I think the last comedy was Correspondence.
A Special Correspondence?
I think that's what it was.
Well, haven't we watched some cartoon ones? I don't know. We're talking like all the episodes have been out now, like when they're all like in back ordered in the files. So
hell yeah,
they're gonna be looking at like what the hell are these guys talking about, because I'm gonna put this one out soon because the movie just dropped. But yeah, man. And so the movie that we're speaking of is brand new on Netflix, starring Jonah Hill and Eddie Murphy, and it is called You People. That's right. You People.
You People. You know what? I didn't see none of you people in there. Now I think about it.
Well, no, okay. So, all right. So before we even start, like what exactly is the issue with the phrase "you people"? I know what the issue is, but for the layperson, how about you explain
it? Honestly, I never knew what the issue was. I just feel like when somebody says "you people," they're referring to a certain type of person and a certain type of color doing a certain type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
I used to think it dealt with a certain type of color, but now that I think about it, and in the time since I first heard that phrase, I think it's less about. I mean, it's associated with the color, but I think it's less about the color of a person, more about like you're generalizing a group of people. So you're lumping all these people into one box, and depending on what you're talking about, it could be something positive or negative. Generally, it's usually something negative.
Usually,
people always late.
99.9% of it is always negative.
Yeah, because you never hear that phrase when it's something good, right? You people,
people
good as hell at math.
Oh man.
It's weird. It's weird that like that's how the English language works, right? Because you people for the longest time was just probably just a phrase, and then next thing you know, it just becomes, it's not necessarily a slur, but
yes.
I remember I called my dad. I called my dad people once. I forget. I was younger.
Yeah.
I was like, because people don't even like to do that. And he goes, hold on. What you mean, people? I was like,
oh
I
man.
Get it then, but no, I was like, yeah. I guess my dad was right. I guess he felt I was generalizing him in this whatever scenario that I was coming up with. I don't remember.
That's funny.
When's the last time someone hit you with the "you people"?
Honestly, I don't know. And something in my brain is saying if anybody said it was you. Just saying.
First of all, I resent that assumption. Second of all, it's probably true.
I know. Oh man.
You people in them Tims.
Shit, you used to rock them too. You probably still do.
I still rock my Tims.
Mm-hmm.
I don't rock the construction ones as much, just because I've, in my older age, I don't really pay attention to how clean my sneakers are anymore. I still do
Yeah.
for a lot of my sneakers, but if they get a little dirty, I don't really care anymore. So
Mm.
I used to, when you was back in Springfield, you get a nice pair of white ups.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody,
You didn't want them creased. Yeah.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, they referenced that in the movie too.
Yeah, no, I want to crease.
Oh
So I
man.
mean, okay, so off rip, did you like the movie?
Yes. Yes, indeed. A lot of good laughs.
Yeah, elaborate. You can't just say yes, bro.
Yeah, I'm always giving straight, no chaser. Like, yeah, I liked it. You know what I'm saying? Either I did or I didn't. Yeah, I like this one. Like I said, a lot of good laughs. I actually like the underlying morals to it.
Yeah,
Um, the cast was actually really good.
yeah.
You know, everybody that was in there.
It was nice to see Eddie Murphy back.
Yeah, because I think the last movie he did was Mr. Church,
I ain't
or
never
was
heard
it?
no Mr.
Or
Church.
really, Mr. Church is actually a good movie. It's more of a sentimental one, but it's a
Yeah,
good movie. But
I thought the last one he did was what, Coming to America too.
oh, you know, it just
I
I'm
didn't. I
no,
don't.
I'm
I
tripping.
didn't see that. So
I've seen it, but
yeah,
we'll save that for another day.
another day. Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Then I'm tripping because he did Dolomite and Coming to America.
Around the same time. Okay, yeah, I seen Dolomite.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Dolomite was good.
I think those were the last two that he actually did, like in order before this one.
Yeah. So
But
you liked it? You liked the cast? You like?
yeah, like I said, I had an idea of what I thought I was going to expect, and it kind
Hold
of
on,
stuck.
something's going on right now. Like you're coming in like a radio,
Really,
like mechanical. Oh, you know what? Okay, let me plug in my Ethernet cable real quick.
it's always your Ethernet cable.
Whatever. It's gonna. When I hit cut, and then it's gonna jump to, okay, we got the Ethernet cable. Hold on. Bam, and we back.
Mm-hmm.
My brothers are the IT guys. That's why I forget some of this stuff. It ain't in my DNA like you people suppose.
Hey, I know it is in your DNA. Goddamn noodles! Look at your shirt.
Bro, this is this might as well be my family crest.
I know. Rocking African beads.
African
Ladies,
beads,
ladies and
African
gentlemen,
beads, and
he's a little
ramen.
confused. He's a little confused, but
It's called hood. African beads and ramen noodles. That's hood all day.
I can't even argue that. I was trying to think of something to say and I couldn't.
It's
Oh man.
the bodega special.
Oh man.
Uh,
Hell yeah.
so in regards to the movie, when it first started, I didn't like the movie.
Really?
But by the end, I did like it. And the
Okay.
reason why I didn't like it in the beginning, and you tell me if you felt this.
Hold on, wait. You're frozen.
Am I?
Yeah, you are.
Let me know when I come back.
If this is gonna be on the video, it's gonna be kind of funny. You got
Yeah,
the funniest face going on right now.
the chopsticks, and I can't wait. Yeah, I want to see what happens.
Okay, there you go. You're back
I
on point.
balanced out. Yeah, I tell you, it's because I plugged in the Ethernet cable. Anyways, yeah. So I didn't like it when it first started because about 10 minutes in, I had this thought. I was saying to myself,
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm too old to be watching this movie.
Mm.
Or I think I'm too old for the movie. I don't think it's made for my demographic.
Mm.
And because some of the way, like with the way,
I have a huge rebuttal to that, but I'm not gonna say it right now.
okay, so the reason why I say that is because the way that a lot of the characters were talking and the
Mhm.
references they were using, like to me, it really dated the movie. Like if
Oh,
you
yeah.
watch this movie in 10 years, you're gonna be like, that's a really like outdated fucking joke,
Mm.
And it
Yeah.
just it felt like the references were made for the TikTok generation, for 20-year-olds, 18-year-olds. Like I turned 40 this year. I was just like, I don't know about this.
I thought the same thing. Like, who's it's geared towards? And
I
then,
feel like it's geared towards like the high school kids.
honestly,
Kids.
honestly, I think it's geared towards everybody. More when it first started off, I agree with you. Like more of today's generation of children.
Yeah.
But I think it affects everybody,
No,
old and young.
I think the message is for everyone.
Mm,
I just think like the way it was written, the references, all that stuff made me just like kind of roll my eyes, you know?
yeah.
Like, come on, like when they start having that conversation, he goes, I don't I feel like Drake, but not like views Drake. I feel like Drake from this album. And I'm just like, that's a in 5 years, 10 years, that's joke is gonna be like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna get it. You're gonna be like, what are they talking about?
Mm.
You know?
Well, if you look at today's generation, let's be honest here. They're finally showing interracial couples on TV.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Everybody's dating everybody. I
Yep.
heard somebody say it's 2022. We marrying white women now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the messaging, the actual messaging of the movie is definitely like of the time. It's great. I just
Yeah.
wish it was, I just say I just wish it was written better. It sounded to me like the movie wasn't written that way. It sounds like they were improving
Mm.
like some of the jokes and some of the lines.
Well, if you look at who's in there, they're all. Well, I can say they're all, but you got two. Is it two or three great comedians? No, four, because Mike
Couple.
Epps is in there. Eddie
Mike,
Murphy,
Mike Epps, Eddie Murphy, Jonah
Julia.
Hill's like he's a comedic actor.
Okay, but I
Um,
mean, as far as like funny people in general, because isn't Julia? Would you consider her a comedian or just she did funny
I don't
stuff?
think she was a stand-up comedian, but she did, she was on Seinfeld and shit like that.
Okay, and I'm not too familiar with her husband in the movie, but he looked. I know
Bro,
who he was. But I don't know who he was.
that's David Duchovny. That's Mulder. Mulder and Scully from X-Files.
Oh shit. Okay.
But he was also in like some I forget, I think it's not called California Cation. There was some kind of TV show that the name of it is like a work off the name California.
Okay.
But like he was in that. So he's done like comedic like acting before.
Hmm.
Hey, you ever seen Evolution with him?
Is
He
that the
plays
one
the
with
he plays this, it was Orlando Jones.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
He plays the science teacher.
Yeah. I had to think for a minute. Like I was like, I know I've seen that movie. That's high school right there.
Dude, I love that movie.
Oh man, it's been such a long time. I don't even remember. I only remember one part in the movie where he gets sucked up the butthole. It was like, don't tell nobody where I've been or something like that.
He goes, he goes, oh, it's going up his leg. We might have to take the leg. No matter what you do, don't take the leg.
Yeah.
Oh, it's moving towards his crotch. Take the leg.
Oh man.
But yeah, like that's was my only gripe with the movie is I think a lot of the references and the speaking patterns of a lot of the characters were
Hmm.
definitely of the time, but it
Hmm.
just sounds super dated and just it made me go like roll my eyes. Like people really talk like this now,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I mean, yeah. All right. So with that being said, before we get into this, into the nitty gritty, the
Yes,
meat and
indeed.
potatoes, or the chitlin and potatoes.
Hey, whatever. Hey, hot sauce. You know what I'm saying? Whatever works.
All right. So, what? Speaking of sauce, what you
Mm.
drink?
Oh, today saucing with, of course, my guy Jack Daniel. Like I said, it's not gonna change.
Good old Jack.
Yes, indeed. And I'm sipping on some wine today because I really don't want to drink too much, and I know I'll drink this slow.
Yeah.
The whiskey I'm not too sure about, but yeah.
Well, I mean, you said like we were talking earlier, and you said that you hadn't, when you don't drink throughout the week, whatever, you tend to binge drink when you do drink.
Yeah.
So
So I gotta regulate that because I went stupid crazy over the weekend.
bro,
The big bottle I had, I brought it Friday afternoon after work, and it was gone Sunday morning. I had to go get another bottle to watch football. It's
that's
fucking terrible.
yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, no.
You people need to watch yourselves.
What do you mean, you people? I'm the only one I know that drinks fucking Jack.
Shit.
Oh man,
All right.
what
So
are you drinking?
me and my weird infusions. I
Mhm.
got another infusion. So
Okay.
last time I made two different infusions. That first one I had, the other week was the strawberry vanilla. This week we got a little apple cinnamon bourbon.
Oh,
So
that
it's a
actually looks
little
interesting.
Granny Smith apple, cinnamon sticks, and some brown sugar.
Nice.
Yeah.
But that's how they do moonshine, right? Well, homemade moonshine.
Oh well, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, but you got it in the Angel Envy.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
So I got
Cool.
that, and then after that, I went to the store to go find another cider. And they just didn't have anything that I wanted. It was just all different types of Angry Orchard, which I love me some Angry Orchard, but I just wanted something different today. So I ended up going over to the bar down the street, and I was looking to see what they had on there. And they had Sour Rainbow, candy style sour ale.
Okay, that looks interesting.
He said it's made from lemon peels, orange peels, and Skittles.
That is really interesting.
So we're gonna see how that goes. But first, we shoot this apple cinnamon.
Let's do it. Well,
Yes,
I
sir.
can't do that. I'm doing my Jack Daniel.
So this is for all you people out there. I don't know why I like that phrase just because I know like people get so worked up about it.
I kept telling myself before we recorded, I said, watch you people be the phrase of the day. Like, I wonder how many times we're going to say it during this episode, but we'll see.
Yeah. All right. And what's funny is they didn't even say it in the entire movie. They never uttered the phrase "you people," and no one went, "Hey, what do you mean, you people?"
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why, All right. Well, cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
That's very mild.
In a good way?
Yeah. Slight sweetness to it, a little bitterness. I didn't even just throw it back. I actually like let it go down the throat like normal. Not bad. Don't need to chase nothing.
You let it go down the throat like normal.
Listen, you people need to stop with your insinuation.
Oh man.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I gotta take off camera. I can't tell you. I just thought about it.
All right. So okay. So the premise of this movie is, Jonah Hill. He's a mid-30s age kid, maybe going to late 40s, whatever. But he's still living at home. He has no direction in his life. He's not sure what he wants to do.
Now, he doesn't live at home, or does he?
I thought it looked like he did.
Oh, okay.
But like he has no real direction in his life. He's at a job that he doesn't really care for. All his parents and stuff, they keep asking him, when's he gonna get a girlfriend and shit like that.
Yeah.
I know we know people like that are constantly getting asked that question. I'm not gonna name names, but
Indeed.
But then him and his friend really like they had like this podcast that they were putting out, and that that was where his love lied. And so in doing so, he starts he comes across a mocha lady, a Nubian princess, and that starts a little spiral into interracial relations.
Well, he already had, like I say, interracial relation, but his podcast partner was a black female that
when they thought it was a dude.
I was going to get to that part, but the shit was funny.
Like, hey, what's up, brother? He goes, I'm a girl.
Yeah.
I got tits. All right, what? She's like, I got breasts or I got tits.
No, he said I got titties. He goes to talk to his son. He said, how'd you know she was a girl? He said, that she's got titties. Yeah. Where? On her chest.
Now, hold up. But here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. First time I saw her, I was like, yo, I knew it was a woman.
Yeah.
I was like, she looked like the little brother from That's So Raven.
Oh, God. Wow. Hell yeah. Oh, man.
So she got good ass fade.
Yeah. Well, hell yeah. Haircut better than mine.
But yeah, so I mean, like, have you ever been in that scenario where you just felt like you had no direction? Because I don't know necessarily if I felt like that. Like I've always felt like I had a direction, but like, I mean, it was slow moving. And I can understand the idea that like, you know what you love, you know what you want to do, but you're trying to live up to everyone else's expectations.
Yeah.
And it tends to send you down this path of just like an unfulfilling life.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think in my opinion, I think everybody goes through like a no direction phase from about 23 to maybe 27.
Yeah.
No, just like, because even kids that go out of high school straight into college, military, stay home, do whatever. I really feel like they're gonna try to do what they can,
Hmm.
but I feel like 9 times out of 10, everybody hits that wall around 22, 23.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be anything, you know what I'm saying?
Or do
And
you think it's a matter of like second guessing your choices in life,
I
or
think
not,
so.
or having not made a choice and feeling like you should have already made a choice?
I think it's all. I think it's both of that. Like
Yeah.
either making a choice and think you should have did something different, or just not making a choice and when are you going to? You know what I'm saying?
All right.
It's
Okay. So in hindsight, as a mid 30-year-old, like when you look back at yourself at that age, do you feel like you should have had it more together at that age than you did?
um. Do I feel like I should have? That's actually funny because at one point I did until I met you. You know what I'm saying?
Or you
Because
this crazy motherfucker, he ain't got his shit together, so why should I?
no, no, I mean like I had shit together until it wasn't together, and I ended up moving back to Massachusetts. I got hired at Friendly's. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But that's good.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. I look in hindsight, I'm I like the way my life has gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
No,
I so I,
but it's
but
about, I don't mean necessarily whether you like how your life has gone, but like
mhm,
at the age of 22, 23, because for some reason, adults back then try to tell you, you need to get your shit together, you need to pick a path. Obviously, they're saying that because they don't want you to become a loser and they don't want you to go down a path that's like, less than fruitful. But
mhm.
like where you were at that age, do you feel like you should have had it more together than you did?
Yes, yep, I can say that.
Oh, that is good.
It's good for real. It looks
Yes,
like
it's
a
very good.
it looks like a straight up beer, but it's a cider, right?
Mm, it's a sour ale. That's very good. Holy shit. Yeah. Oh, you need to try this next time you come.
Cool. All right, cool. Hold on, I'll send the
It's
text real
made
quick.
locally in Longwood, Florida, which is in the town next door to Orlando.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
But yeah, I felt like at maybe 22, 23, I knew what I wanted to do,
Hmm.
but like I'll be honest, there were times where I was second guessing myself because like it's at that stage where life is getting hard.
Hmm.
Like yeah, I was just back then I was just grinding, just wrestling on the weekends, $20 a show, driving 4 hours to Philly or Pittsburgh, whatever to wrestle, going back third shift, all this different shit. Like it was grinding to the point where I felt like, man, is this what my life is gonna be for the rest of my life?
Mm. But
And for years after, that's what it was. It really made me think I was like, I might have chosen the wrong path.
mm, and okay, and that's what I'm saying. Looking back at it, your goal was to be a wrestler at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah.
And you was doing whatever you could do to chase that dream. So, I mean, how did you feel at that time? Because I know how you feel now.
Yeah.
Like I know right now, everything back then makes sense right now. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But
Well, okay. So at that time, like I didn't realize how I didn't realize how lazy and how much I wasn't sacrificing. I thought I was sacrificing everything because I had no time. I had no time with my family, all these different things. And like, I thought I was giving everything I could. And then
mhm,
now at this age, looking back, I'm like, no, I think my path went the way it did because I wasn't, I don't know, maybe the universe saw that like me as a person wasn't built for, you know, being a wrestler
mm,
for the rest of my life. I was built for, I can do it. I'm very good
mhm,
at it. And I can, but I think it saw that I was meant for something else.
indeed. I
You know?
mean, we've talked enough. Everybody knows what you do now, so you actually still made it
Yeah.
to wrestling.
Yeah. I think the world of wrestling is where I'm meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, I think me as a person, I think I'm one of those people who cares so much
Mm.
that if I became a wrestler or I became whatever I was trying to become, I would have driven myself crazy
Mm.
because I care so much, and it's one of those industries where if you care so much, you can get like run over and run through.
Yeah.
So, no. But
And,
how about
and I
go
guess that's
ahead.
what I'm trying to say. Because like I said, I think back at it. Like I said, I went straight to the military out of school, and when I got out the military, I had things together. And
Mhm.
then that shit came crumbling down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And moved back to Massachusetts. And so I really can't say that I should have had it more together because I was cool at that moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wasn't cool moving back to Massachusetts, but everything I had did up until that point was like, hey, look, ma, I made it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You ever wonder, like, obviously, you look at your scenario, your life and the scenarios you were in, and being
Mm,
like, moving back to Massachusetts was a step back. Like it almost makes you feel like a failure. I got to move back home. But then
hmm. Hell yeah, I had a whole
doing,
house.
yeah, but then doing that puts you on the path to where you are now.
Mm,
Where you are now doesn't happen if you don't move back to Massachusetts and you don't get that job at Friendlies.
very true.
So
Very true.
yeah,
That's why I said, looking back at it now, it all makes sense of where I am right now in my life. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
But
All right. So, well, okay. So, in trying to, figure out where he's headed in life, you know, Jonah Hill ends up crossing paths with, like I said, a
the
Nubian
fabulous,
princess.
amazing, um, rest in peace to her. I believe it was her husband, Nipsey, Miss Lauren
Yeah.
London.
Yeah.
I got to put some respect on her name.
All right. So, okay. Okay. So, all right. Quick question. Okay. So, because I saw this online and on Twitter a lot, and I want to pose this question to you because
Mhm.
one of the issues that a lot of people had with this movie
Okay.
is they felt like someone of Lauren London's caliber, I'm putting up quotations,
Okay.
someone of Lauren London's caliber, and wouldn't be interested in someone like Jonah Hill.
For one, it's a movie, people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
don't erase that from your mind. From your mind, you're watching something to relate to and separate from your own life. That's why they're movies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I can't rock with that because
But
it's a movie.
do you, when you see them as a couple,
Mhm.
does that look out of place to you?
It does, but I think that's the point of the movie.
You're just like, it does.
Yeah, because okay, I don't know how to say this,
Well,
but Lauren, look,
you don't like beautiful black women with chubby white brothers?
it's not that I don't like it, but you because I've seen it in real life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it will make you do a double take. Like what the oh
Yeah. You're looking
okay,
like how the hell did he get her?
yeah, for real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I get it. But at the same time, it's like there was one of this moment in the movie where I thought it was very, what's the word? It was very I don't know. I don't know what the word is, but it made me like it was the impetus of their relationship. It's when they're out on that date
Hmm.
and I forget what he says to her, but she looks at him, she goes, all right, that was real. She understood him. I forget what it was, but
Gosh.
he said, I forget what he said, but it was a moment where you realized she doesn't value material or outside
Hmm.
shit. She values honesty and realism.
They were sitting there
And
eating
that's
at
what,
they were eating at the table, right?
yeah.
Which I remember it
That,
too. I
and
can't remember what was saying.
yeah, but that's what she got from him. She got like a sense of like honesty from him. And like
Hmm.
I got the sense that she was surrounded by people who you're just not necessarily dishonest, but people who aren't trying to be who they really are inside. And
Hmm.
in that moment, she met someone who was like, he's being his honest, true self in this moment. And that's why she kind of got feelings for him, which I can
Yeah.
appreciate, you
Oh,
know?
definitely. I mean, you mentioned something to me months ago. about the way I was carrying myself.
Mhm.
And I was like, at this moment in my life, if I meet somebody, they're gonna get the rawest, purest form of me because I don't have the energy to cover it up anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you was like, okay, cool. I feel you on that. So, I guess with that being said, like I think most people still value the realness of something.
Oh yeah,
You
definitely.
know.
I feel like the days of the days of courting a woman
Hmm.
by being someone that you're truly not are
Mm.
over. It might open the door,
Yeah.
but it'll quickly get squashed because there is so much to life right now that it's so easy to uh fabricate a life
Hmm.
that the idea of someone being honest with who they are is way more attractive now than it was back then or
Oh,
back in the
definitely.
day.
Because one thing I've realized in our era of growing up,
Mhm.
we all wanted to be what we saw on TV.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Did
And
did you put a did you put a band-aid on your face like Nelly?
I didn't have a bad day. I was in the military. That couldn't happen. You know what I'm saying? But where we come from, everybody rocked the white tee,
Mhm.
ups,
Yep.
baggy jeans. You know what I'm saying?
I had extremely baggy jeans.
Do rag whether you had waves or not.
Mhm.
It was what it was. I mean, everybody wanted to be what they saw on TV,
Yep.
and I think now what I know what I think is that we're at that point now in our era where it's like it's just so much easier to be who you are.
Yeah.
And the kids of today, they're actually being able to express who they are because everything is becoming more blended. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How many white rappers do we have now?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, but at the same time, like, you know, that's a product of, the culture being
Hmm.
like more out there now than it was before. But I think that the value of being honest with who you are is way more valuable now just because there's so much out there that will allow you to be someone you're not. It's
Hmm.
so easy. It's so easy to fabricate a photo or do all these random little things to where you can create a life that's not yours online.
Yeah,
So the fact that someone can go out there and be inherently just who they are 100%, I think it's a very, very attractive trait.
but this. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Is it attractive to people from our era, or is it attractive to everybody?
Well, I think it's
'Cause
attractive. I think it's attractive to everybody. I just think that, and this is just me speaking from I'm an old head at this moment,
yeah.
uh, where like it's so easy nowadays, and like kids nowadays grew up with Photoshop and with social media and all that stuff. Like that's become their norm. So they don't know what it's like to, you know, just sit down and talk to someone. Like
Yeah,
honestly.
everything's through text or like nobody knows how to have a conversation more, which is why I
Yeah.
think podcasts are important
Yeah.
because you see people talking to each other.
Bro, I used to in researching podcasts and getting everything ready for us to put ours out.
Hmm.
I just looking at it, I came to realize I thought people had, especially this day and age, I thought a lot of people had short attention spans. I'm just coming
Mm.
to realize that like no, people's attention spans are way longer than we give them credit for. It's just there's so much content out there right now that
Hmm.
it needs to grab my attention. If it
Mm.
grabs my attention, I'll be there with you 100%. But yeah, if you got 10 minutes, if you don't catch me in 10 minutes, you're done. I'm moving on to the next because there's so much I can go towards.
Look, I see people all the time when they're on their phones, go through TikTok or Facebook or whatever.
Mhm.
They'll stop and watch a video. After 3 seconds, swipe up again. Swipe up, swipe up. It's like if it doesn't grasp them that quick, they're
Yep.
already on to something else.
Yeah, yeah. We're back in the day because the amount of stuff that we had at our disposal wasn't as high. We,
Hmm.
we gave everything a chance.
Mm.
Where nowadays,
Interesting.
maybe you're not giving everything a chance. Not necessarily because you don't want to give it a chance. It's
Hmm.
because there's so much out there. It's like, well, why am I going to take a chance on this thing I'm not sure about when I can just go to the thing I already like?
Very true.
You know,
Very
and
true.
that's and,
That's a
and,
good.
and
That's a good analogy.
well, to me, that speaks to relationships.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people go and they get in relationships with what they're used to.
Mm.
And so in this movie, you saw What was Lauren London's character's name? I don't remember the characters' names at all. I'll be honest
No,
with
me
you.
either.
But like
Ezra and shit.
Amira,
That's I think so.
it's like
Something like that.
Amira or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so Ezra and so it's like, you know, they took a chance on each other because they felt a bit of realness and honesty between each other.
Only thing I felt like I wish they would have elaborated on more was how they actually got to the date. Because you see him and her arguing in the car, thinking he's an Uber driver, and they have like that moment where he's like, "Well, you know, you look like the Uber driver." Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, okay."
Well, he said, "Let me make it up to you."
Yeah,
like,
but you know,
but then it literally went from "let me make it up to you" to
them being together, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is one thing I wish that would have been done differently. Just like that whole courting method. Yeah. And him and her trusting him and him trusting himself because he was just like, he'll never find a girl. You know what I'm saying? But just like that, he found one.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. So have you been in a scenario where everybody and your mother was trying to tell you to find a girl? Because when he went to church, everybody was like asking him about penis. And I
yeah. Hell yeah.
The rabbi. Like, hey, just come to my office and I'll show you this thing.
Yeah. Excuse me.
I think that's that Eddie Griffin joke. You know,
and that's
white church in white church. In white church.
Oh yeah.
The priest will fuck your son.
Yeah.
Black church, pastor will fuck your wife.
For real. Oh man. Hey, that's funny.
But no, it's like he had all this pressure on him to kind of just progress at the speed everyone else wanted him to progress at.
Yeah.
And I've felt that pressure from my parents because, like I said, I tried to become a professional wrestler.
No, that's some relationships.
No, I've never had that pressure from my parents. They just pressure me for kids.
Oh,
which I understand, but at the same time, I got two older brothers. You go pressure them. You know?
There's so much that I'm really, really trying to, because I can say so much of a whole lot of things, including myself, but it's like that'll be too much information for the world. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like, like Ezra had that pressure to be further along in life than he was, and he's moving at his own pace, you know. But then, he meets Amira, and like, did you feel like their relationship was honest, or like it was like an actual, like, that's how two people get together?
Once it got rolling, yes, but the initial fact of them meeting, I felt was like could have been done better. Like I said, just because I didn't see as a viewer their buildup of being together. You know what I'm saying?
I think once they started interacting, I was like, okay, there's a silliness to their personalities. Like, I understand that because two people who can be silly together without any repercussions or judgment upon them,
definitely
usually tend to flow together really well.
Indeed. I mean, do you think that's a fear of people afraid to be themselves?
Yeah.
Now, I mean,
because I think a lot of people are just inherently self-conscious. They don't believe that who they are as a person is good enough. And whereas if you do think you're good enough, you come across as cocky, right?
I guess, yeah. Well, as we discussed earlier,
it's right. I'm just saying,
no, I can see that. But I'm saying, as we discussed earlier, there's certain ways to say and do things and still get your point across.
No, I get it, but like, okay, so if you're not inherently confident in the way you communicate, especially if you're trying to communicate to someone you like, if you're constantly second guessing your words, you're gonna come across as like maybe possibly a little fake, whatever. You're gonna lean towards the things that you think might work versus just being honest and being who you are.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, if I told a woman, hey, I'm 40 years old, but I still rock Naruto shirts and watch cartoons, that's not something you just put out on a first date.
It's not, but at the same time, it is. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I get it. If you're being honest,
Yeah.
yeah, these are the things I like. But I can understand the reservations behind someone being like, let me let her get comfortable with me before I let her into all this other shit.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. To go back to what I said earlier about our era, you know, because I still like watching Dragon Ball Z. I still like watching cartoon shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, bro. Every other movie you pick is an animated movie.
Look,
I swear to God, every animated movie we've done, except for maybe one, has been your choice. I
look,
swear to God, freaking Chris
and,
Brown,
and,
pedophile.
and look, kiss my fucking ass. All right. But no,
You
I
people
like
in your cartoons.
no, I like the simplicity of cartoons, but being able to tell a story that makes you think, which is the reason why I love BoJack Horseman.
Mm-hmm.
BoJack is extremely dark,
Yeah.
but it's in cartoon form, so you can't really tell it until you watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus when you see people acting, and I think I said this to you before, you relate to a person.
Yeah.
Versus in a cartoon, you're relating to a character. If that makes sense.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
I feel like in a cartoon, it's easier to relate to the message because you're pulled out of the idea that would this person act like this in real life. If I'm watching real people, and a
Mm-hmm.
person acts kind of like nutty or out of the ordinary, I
Mm-hmm.
might look at it and be like, they're just acting. They're just hamming it up for the movie. But if I'm watching a cartoon, I don't think that because I feel like that's who this person is. So now I can
Mm-hmm.
pay attention to the relationship and the story being told.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I get that.
Yeah.
So, but to what you just said, you've never seen the actor or actress act, and you feel like that's who they are in real life.
No.
Really?
Except for maybe not. Okay. Yeah. Except for maybe Eminem and 8 Mile, but I felt like that might have been him at an earlier point in his life.
Okay. I'll put it to you like this. Like I feel like Channing Tatum is
Mhm.
actually really cool in real life. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
but okay,
Like he
okay,
does,
yeah, okay.
like
So
like
what
like
movie?
like I feel like he grew up in the hood. Like I feel like he grew up around black people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like even though
And
he's,
then
huh?
turns out that motherfucker was a male stripper in Tampa.
He was.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Dude, Magic Mike is
I,
like an autobiography.
oh shit. Really? I thought that
Yeah,
was just like.
that's based on his life.
Holy shit.
Bro,
I know.
I've driven past those when I used to live in Tampa. I've driven past those fucking strip clubs. They're right down the street from where I used to live.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like
Actually, and it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know.
I feel like
I feel like if you can watch a movie and feel like okay, that's who they are in real life, then I think they're not doing a great job of being the character.
okay, like for instance, out of all Denzel Washington's movies, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like a character that probably relates to him in real life is Remember the Titans. Don't ask me why. I don't know, but I feel like that's more of him as a real person versus acting.
I don't know. I don't remember the Titans like that.
Okay.
I think maybe John Q. I could see him be more like John Q.
Okay, I can give you that one.
Okay, so for my example is like The Rock. So when I watch The Rock,
Hmm.
I get a sense that that's who he is in real life. But because of that, that's all that motherfucker plays in every movie. He was in Jungle Cruise, fucking not necessarily Black Adam, but Jungle Cruise, Skyscraper, Rampage. It was just The Rock the entire time.
See, and
So
I feel different.
when I see that, I don't think he's encapsulating a character. I think he's just being himself.
But see,
And I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing.
I feel different because I feel like Vin Diesel plays himself in every movie,
Yeah,
and I feel like
I'm not gonna deny, except for Guardians of the Galaxy. That's it.
because it's
His voice Groot.
it's only his voice. But I feel like The Rock played himself, or The Rock, so to speak, in Gridiron Gang,
Mhm.
and I think Fast and Furious 6,
Yeah.
where it was like it felt more personal,
Yeah.
and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Oh. All right. So okay. So let's back up off of Ezra and Amir for a second. Let's go to the people that they're surrounded by, their families.
Hmm.
Now, this is one of the reasons why I had an issue with this movie.
Okay.
We might differ on this. Sorry, I didn't mean to do this. That's not the
Look, I
kind.
was definitely gonna say something. I was like, like, what is wrong with you today, dude?
First of all, it's like 2:30 in the afternoon. But
So,
whatever. All right, so my issue, because so you got Ezra's family, who was
mm-hmm,
Julie Louis Dreyfus and David Duchovny were his parents, and then he
mm-hmm,
had a sister who was kind of like, nerdy but not nerdy, whatever.
mm-hmm,
Then you had Amira's family was Eddie Murphy and Nia Long,
mm-hmm.
and like they were kind of like militant, like Black Power kind of parents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And one of the issues I had with the movie is, to me, it made it feel like white people can only do wrong, and black people can't do. Black people are right all the time.
How'd you get that message?
Because when you're looking at the parents, like you had Ezra's mom, who was just trying too hard to try to connect with this culture she doesn't know anything about. So she kept making mistakes and kept, saying stuff offensive.
Okay. Okay. Got you.
And then if you go to the other half, you have Ezra, who you got Eddie Murphy's character looking down at him because he's trying to act black. So it made it look like the white people are the ones who are doing wrong shit, and the black people were, they're the ones who had the standard that needed to be reached. And I just didn't know. I didn't know if I liked that. Because I hate it when it makes it out like, black people, white people are always wrong and black people are always right. I just don't think that's an honest take on how, relationships and how people actually are.
Mm-hmm. I'm letting that marinate for a minute, because that's
Okay, so okay, just think about this. In the scene where Lauren London goes off on Ezra's mom,
yeah,
and then she has to come to terms with her, what's the insensitiveness, or her the fact that she didn't realize she was being as what's the word, offensive.
yeah. Okay.
Look at how that was, because that was very potent. It was very fucking strong.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But then if you look at the scene with Eddie Murphy and Jonah Hill, when Jonah Hill is basically telling him like, yo, this is who I am, like you're judging me based off of like what you think I'm supposed to be and not paying attention to who I am. I don't think they were the same.
Okay, so if we're thinking about the movie being dated for today, white women that feel like they deserve everything are called Karens. Am I right?
Yep.
Do you think Julia's character was supposed to be a Karen?
No.
Okay.
I think she was portrayed as someone who's just uncultured.
Okay.
And in doing so, it made it look like because you're uncultured, you're wrong. And that's why I didn't like that, because it's like, you can't blame me because I'm all of a sudden thrust into the scenario where I'm trying to connect with this culture that I know nothing about, but I'm trying my fucking hardest.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of her being like trying to help me along the way, she's just sitting there like, oh, this bitch is saying this offensive shit again,
Okay.
And she doesn't give her the chance to be like, maybe this lady doesn't actually, maybe she's just trying too hard. Maybe this is not how she thinks.
Okay.
She's trying really hard to connect.
So let me give you a scenario real quick.
Go ahead.
If let's just say you're dating, I guess for shits and giggles, a white woman,
mm-hmm.
and then you go to her parents' house, and you only know, actually no, you don't know anything, but you know that they know about you. And when you walk into the house, you got egg rolls, ramen noodles,
Mm-hmm.
Egg foo young, all that good stuff, because they're trying to let you know you're welcome. Yeah. And you're like, this shit is fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, so how would you feel if that was a real life situation?
I'd probably be like, well, goddamn. Like they really went for every fucking stereotype they could find. Okay. But if I knew that these are people who were just, they are in the suburbs. They've never met an Asian person in their life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna sit there and look at her and be like, "You're fucking racist for that shit."
Mm.
And that's the sense I got. I got the sense that she was like, "You're fucking, you're a fucking not racist, but you're a fucking like an offensive piece of shit
Mm-hmm.
because you're saying all these things." And
Mm.
it's not looking at it in the view of like, well, goddamn, this lady's trying her hardest to fucking connect with me, and I'm
Mm.
not, and she's not even giving anything. And she invited her to the bachelor party, but the minute she said something offensive, all the other girls were like, and she didn't stick up for her. She just went with the other girls, like, this is who she is, and it's like she doesn't look at her like, oh, you're in this fucking. If you invited a fucking suburban white woman to fucking a barbecue with the hoodest people you think of, and she feels out of place, are you gonna stand behind her because you invited her, or are you gonna
Definitely,
like,
unless she
are you gonna?
does something.
Well,
Unless
no,
she
but
does something.
because in the movie she went with the black people. She yep, look, that's how these white people act.
Mm. I see your point now. I get that.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
it. It just felt like she viewed her as this is an offensive white woman instead of this is a woman who is just uncultured, but she's trying her hardest.
Mm.
And
Okay.
that's the issue. Because if you look in the other scenario, you can see like Eddie Murphy looking at Jonah Hill and being like, this guy's just he's trying to be down. He's trying to
Mm-hmm.
be down. But then you had the scenario where they played basketball and he got a sense like, oh no, actually, no, he's more in tune with this than than I think.
Yeah.
And you didn't get that in the scenario with the mom,
Mm. Okay.
so because there was no
Interesting.
scenario with the mom and Lauren London where she said something right and Lauren London goes, oh shit, okay, like there was never that moment.
Mm. Okay. Well, this is
I
actually really
I
interesting.
I think I'm, you can see I'm getting a little riled up. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
I think the reason why is because I get viewed as someone who's could be trying to act black, or someone who's trying to like be down.
Do you think the world doesn't understand that sometimes?
I think the world understands it. I think
Mm-hmm.
they pick and choose when they want to be offended.
Mm.
Because here's the thing: if a white person uses the N word,
Mm-hmm.
right, singing a song, singing
Mm. Okay.
Jay Z and Kanye, brothers in Paris.
Fair enough.
If they sing that song using those words, people get offended by it as if they're using it to put someone down. And it's not the same. It just isn't. The context isn't the same,
Okay.
right? And
Is
I think we're smart enough as people to distinguish the context. And
mhm.
if we're not, then maybe I'm giving people way too much credit, or maybe we're not as smart as I think we are as people.
Hmm.
You know,
Interesting.
I just feel like some people will pick and choose, like, oh yeah, I'm culture, like I understand, I understand communication, I understand people, but then when a situation like that happens, they just want to revert to I'm being offended because that's what I'm supposed to be right now, instead of
Mm.
looking at the scenario and being like, maybe you shouldn't say that word, but I'm not offended right now, or
Mm.
maybe you shouldn't be like, doing that.
Okay.
I have my feelings on this shit.
Oh yeah, so do I. Because, like you just said, if you're at a concert, matter
Yep.
of fact, I'll give you an example. I went to Jay-Z's concert in
Mhm.
Chicago,
Yep.
and when he did the song "Brothers in Paris," he stopped. He's like, "Look, everybody's invited to the barbecue. Count that shit down."
Yep.
And when it hit, it hit. And it's like at that moment, we're at the barbecue. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way I could put it. And
Bro,
it was fun.
listen, here's my theory, and this
Yeah.
you tell me if this is true. As a brother,
Uh-huh.
you tell me if this is true. Okay. Now, rap artists,
Mm-hmm.
they don't even like the fucking clean version of their songs. They hate them.
True.
So, if they hear a person who's not colored singing their song in its original form, I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, I could let it slide because that's how I intended my art to be to be heard. That's how I intended my art to be consumed and enjoyed.
Mm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's almost like if you get offended by that, it's almost like, yeah, I know I made the song like this, and I'm glad you bought it, but don't enjoy it the way I want you to enjoy it. You got to enjoy it like this because you don't deserve to enjoy it the way I put it out. I
Mm.
just think that's a fucked up mentality to have.
It is. If you look at all genres of music, let's go to country.
Mhm.
Am I not supposed to like cowboy boots and a cowboy hat because I'm not from the country?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
If that's what your music's talking about and what you're doing or whatever, or your truck, because every country dude got a truck. You know what I'm saying? I'm not supposed to like an F-150.
Bro, you know me. I love
You
my.
got one. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Um,
that's actually an interesting concept, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching this, give us your comments because I don't think this is a bigger subject than me and
it
Sarath right
really
now.
is. It's a much deeper subject than we have time for, or we're what's equipped to have. But
Hmm.
it's a subject that should be talking about because it's like I just think we as humans
Hmm.
are much smarter than we portray ourselves on social media and on the internet to be.
Hmm.
I think over there it's so easy to fall into the you know what is it, the casual offensiveness because they're just attaching themselves to a an ideal instead of actually looking at the nuances and looking at the fully formed product of what they're talking about.
So
Do you go ahead?
no, no. Go ahead. I was gonna say back to the movie. One of the main messages was the culture.
Yeah.
That's all Jonah Hill's character was trying to do. Talk about the culture,
Mhm.
not the whole black and white, whatever. Like
Yeah.
wearing sneakers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In a suit,
Yeah.
listen to this music, do this podcast. So,
Do you think in 2023
hmm.
that there are, because I've heard a lot of people say, hip hop is black culture.
Hmm.
Do you Yeah, let me ask you that question.
Okay.
Honestly, do you think hip hop culture is black culture?
Yes, but it's one sided.
Elaborate, because I have my thoughts. Well, but I'll say it in a second.
It's definitely black culture, but it's one sided. It's
Why do you consider it black culture?
it's the greedy side. It's the hustle side. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Hip hop?
well, back in the day, this new shit is fucking garbage. And I'm gonna say it. What Ari Spears say? Garbage, garbage.
No, but I think you're talking about rap.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
No, I'm talking about hip hop, the hip hop culture.
Oh, okay.
The clothing, the breakdancing, the graffiti, like hip hop as a culture. Do you think
Hmm.
that's black culture? Because I personally don't.
No, no, no. That is. I came from the slums culture.
Yeah, urban, poor,
Hmm.
gritty, from the bottom culture.
Hmm.
Which, if you look back at, I mean, if you look at hip hop, if you look at hip hop, it started, with graffiti and
Break
breakdancing.
dance from the cardboard box.
Yeah, and if you look at that, if you look at the Rocksteady crew, New
Hmm.
York Breakers, like there's Puerto Ricans in there, there's
Look,
Asian people in there, there's
look
white
at
people
them.
in there.
Look at the movies. What is it? Breaking in fucking Beat Street and shit.
Yeah, there's
Is if
all
you
different cultures. Yeah,
Yes, if you could dance, you could dance. That's what it was.
yeah, it's all different cultures. But the one thing they have in common was these are the cultures that grew up in the projects. They didn't
Hmm.
have much, so they're making do with the best they have. So I
Yeah.
think, me personally, I think lumping hip hop culture as this is black culture. I think that's doing a disservice to black culture because then you're losing the kente cloths and the African culture that comes with it. And
Mm.
just you're cutting out a whole subsect of people who were right there with them, all these minorities that were in that area in that day and age when they were like just poor, didn't have much money, and they created this thing that was beautiful.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. Do you think Eddie Murphy was right in like trying to gatekeep Jonah Hill? Be like, but almost basically saying, hey, you ain't black enough for my daughter.
See, and before I answer that question, because to answer it, no, he wasn't right. But I understand that part of the movie because I live in the deep south.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Caucasian people I meet where I can look in their eyes and I know you really don't like me,
Yeah.
but they're older.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm in the deep south.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
it's
do you
changing.
hold that against older white people?
No, not at all, because the times are different. Like I look, I'm 37 and I hate the younger culture. You know what I'm saying? And I hate the older culture too. Shit. I hate every culture except for fucking mine. That's just what it is.
I hate old culture. I hate young culture. I hate cultures that's in yogurt. I hate.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't agree with it, but I understand it because where they grew up was different from where I grew up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What they saw was different from what I saw. You know,
Yeah.
and you and I both know after a certain age, you stop learning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
very few people that want to continue to learn as they keep living. Other than
Yeah.
that, I feel like when you get to about 35, you're set in your ways. It's gonna be what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I get that because like so because if you're thinking about the future of people, you have to focus on the younger culture and what
Okay.
and shaping the younger culture. For
Hmm.
example, I work making wrestling costumes over that, and we go to Saudi Arabia all the time.
Hmm.
And people will look at that and be like, that culture feels this way and it's never going to change. And, you're going over there, it's a fruitless endeavor. But like, it's not about, it's not about changing the mind of 50-year-old, Saudi Arabian people looking at us right now because they're
Hmm.
set in their ways. It's about giving these 8 and 10-year-old kids something to strive for so that in 20 years when they're the ones who have the ability to run the country,
Hmm.
they're way more open to the idea that we can be more inclusive, and you're just giving them something to strive for. You can't sit there and say, hey, I don't want to give an example to these people just because I don't agree with how they are right now. It's not about right now. It's about in 20
Mm.
years. It's about in 20 years, what can they be? And
Mm.
do you want to be a conduit to that being better?
That's interesting.
You know, it's like if you take people who grew up in the hood who only know drugs and guns and gang life, and
Hmm.
like just showing them that there's a better life out there. It's not necessarily changing how they feel, but if you show them at a young age that there's more out there to life, maybe you can then you can like get that ball rolling in their head to where they realize, I don't have to be this. I don't have
Yeah.
to be this thing I see all every day. I can be something more,
Hmm.
you know?
That's interesting.
Yeah, and again,
This is
in
actually.
regards to the movie, again, I don't agree with Eddie Murphy, but I
Mhm.
understand
Well,
because
then,
he's
well, we bounce around,
yeah.
but let's go towards the end when Mike Epps is talking to
And he's that white boy. He be spitting some shit.
him. Yeah, yeah, but he told me you wrote him hard. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I think he says you wrote him both hard. Talking about him and his daughter.
Yeah, it's like you're not giving your daughter enough credit that
Mm.
she can make a good decision for herself.
Yeah,
You're trying to make that decision for her, and that's true. A lot of parents do that.
yeah, for real.
Did you ever have that situation happen in your life?
My mom knew I was a rebel. She left me alone.
God damn, my bad. I didn't miss my whole fucking cover.
You gotta. My mom knew I was crazy, but she knew I had a good heart. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think anybody's ever. Like I said, no, I'm lying, because somebody's always tried to make me be something I'm not, which is why I am who I am now.
Yeah.
But
I personally, and this is just coming from outside looking in,
mhm,
I personally feel like you grew up around a lot of people who just didn't understand you.
definitely.
And I think you had a larger breadth of interests than they were accustomed to, because they were all very accustomed to the normal shit, the
I even
normal shit
wonder.
you see in the projects.
I even wonder where that came from though, because I don't know why I think the way I think and why I do the things I do. Like one of my favorite songs ever is by Creed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's a
You think it comes from being in the army?
No, because this is before the army. Like honestly, one of my sister's favorite songs back in the day. She would always listen to 94.7 at night. 8 o'clock
Okay.
was slow jams,
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
was like it wasn't like black slow jams. And there was a song by Savage Garden on there. Um,
Was it I Knew I Loved You?
I don't remember the name of the song. Like, I'll be
I
your
could
dream, I'll be your
be
wish,
your
I'll
wish, I'll
be your
be your
yeah, that
fantasy.
shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'll
So
be your hope, be
look,
everything that you need.
everything that you need, whatever. So once
What the hell's the name of that song?
I don't know, truly, madly, deeply.
Truly,
There you
madly,
go.
deeply.
Yeah,
There
there
you
you go.
go.
Okay, cool. So I had already knew that I had a liking of different music,
Yeah,
but I didn't think that it was okay for me to express it.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So when I heard my sister singing that song, and I was just like, "You like that?" And I think because it was my sister, it made me feel more comfortable
yeah, yeah, yeah,
to
yeah,
express that I liked it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But yeah, I've always been misunderstood.
Yeah.
Just shit, I'm still misunderstood.
Well, I know, when you're young, people they create those boxes that they feel like you have to sit in. Like for
Mm,
example, like when I was in high school, I guess I didn't pay much attention to it. But like when I got older and I'm looking back at the younger generation, I'm like, why are you guys dumping on Justin Bieber? That kid makes good music. But
mm,
because at that age, no, they're not supposed to like that. They're supposed to
mm,
like this other stuff.
mm.
And it's just like when you fall into those kind of categories and those kind of boxes, you're cutting off a whole section of your personality that you're not allowing to blossom.
And that's what's funny is like you're not allowing to blossom, or people aren't allowing you to let it blossom.
Yeah, maybe people aren't allowing.
Especially if it
Maybe
comes to
people
your.
aren't maybe people aren't allowing you to blossom,
Mhm.
and you might not have the self-confidence to say fuck those people, I'm gonna just blossom
Well,
anyway.
especially if it's your parents. And like, what kids gonna say? Fuck my parents at like 13 years old.
Hey, bro, listen. I'd never said fuck my parents, but I did get to a point where I was like, Mom, Dad, I love you guys to death, and I appreciate every lesson you've ever taught me in life.
Hmm.
But everything I've accomplished in life that's fruitful came because I've chased what I felt was right.
Hmm.
So again, I love you guys and I will help you guys and we'll do whatever. But like, just understand that the choices I make are going to be my own, and I'm not going to be basing my choices off on what you guys want.
True. But okay, so how old were you when you had that conversation?
I never had that conversation. That's just me talking to myself. I'm 40. I haven't even had a conversation.
Oh
Listen, my
God.
dad used to whoop my ass when I was younger. I'm still afraid of that motherfucker.
Look, look. You know what? I, I'm not afraid of your dad, but in the back of my mind,
Bro, when he was talking about them
he
guns,
look, that surprised the fuck out of me.
yeah,
Cause,
I
cause,
done shot
cause,
bigger stuff than
cause
that.
I was talking shit. Like, yo, dude, I got guns the size of you. And he was like, I shot bigger. And this, that, and that. And then I realized, oh shit, he's serious.
Yeah.
This
When he's
man's done did some shit.
Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you, we played hide and seek when I was like 10, 11 years old. And this
Mm.
is my backyard. Okay. This isn't in the woods somewhere. It's in my backyard. And it took us 3 hours to find that motherfucker. He was in a tree, like 30, 40 feet in the air, hugging a branch. Listen, in that moment, I realized my dad knows some shit.
Look, and I think this is what did it. Because when he said what he did, he got real humble about it.
Mhm.
Like I know your dad. And
Yeah.
sometimes he's talking shit and everything, but when he said that, he dropped his head like he wasn't proud of it, but he did some shit, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
this is a serious conversation right now."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
How about them Cowboys? You know what I'm saying? Let me change the subject real quick. I ain't ready for this right now.
Okay, so but like, how did you feel in the movie that how when because Jonah Hill, like Ezra and Amir, like they let all that shit get to them
Hmm.
to the point where it made them, walk away from each other because they felt like there was so much static on the outside that they could never be who they truly want to be on the inside.
Yeah, that shit
Do you
sucks,
do
man.
you do you agree with that? Is that something that's like real to you?
Oh yeah, I've experienced it. You know what I'm saying? Where
Elaborate.
where it's like you like somebody and you want to be with this person, but you're loyal to your family. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Hmm.
Because you grew up with them. Those are your people.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's like a Bible teaching or whatever, because families supposed to be really, really important.
Yeah.
And I've come to realize, as you know too, family's who you want it to be.
Yeah.
Fuck the bloodline. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah.
No disrespect to WWE because I saw what happened. You know what I'm saying? but on the real, fuck the bloodline. The blood don't matter. Where's your heart at?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like there's a lot of people who will put one ahead of the other,
Hmm.
and like they're not listening to who they are inside. They're listening to these all these other voices around them, and it's making them feel like they don't deserve what they really want.
Yeah.
You know. And I
And
just,
then,
yeah,
and, then, and then think
that's a
about
terrible
this.
thing to.
Well, think about this. How many people even know what they deserve?
Say that again?
I
I'm sorry.
said, how many people even know what they deserve?
Yeah, I don't know. But the thing is, some people are just. I feel like some people are just afraid of saying, "I deserve this," or "I
Mm,
want this," right?
mhm.
Especially nowadays, there's a lot of people who will sit there and be like, they feel like they're being selfish for saying they want this. And the
No.
thing is, in that selfishness, if you're truly chasing what you want, I contest that if you truly know what you want, go after it. You might lose some people that you truly love and who were really important in your life at one point.
Hmm.
But if this is truly what you want, like 100% honest, and don't feel bad about going for that. Just understand that like there are consequences to your actions. Sometimes, there's people in your life who are super integral in helping you shape who you are,
Hmm.
but they're not meant to be there forever.
Indeed.
Because you have to understand that when you chase what you want, you're cutting off what they want. And
Mm.
that
Hmm.
doesn't always mesh.
That's interesting. You said when you chase what you want, you're cutting off what they want.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, because no matter what happens, your all your decisions are based off of what you want, and
Hmm.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
But you have to be okay with the idea that you might lose something else you want
Yeah.
because that's not your because these choices aren't jiving with their choices.
I mean, well, Lauren Hill said it too. You might win some, but you just lost one.
Mhm.
What if you reverse it? You might win one, but you just lost some.
Yeah.
What do you want to live with? You know what I'm saying?
So who did you connect with more in the movie? Lauren London or Jonah Hill?
You know what's funny? I don't really think I connected with either one of them, even though I know I did. I know I did, but I really just watched it and just enjoyed watching it. But,
Yeah.
you know what? This is gonna sound really, really fucked up,
Go for it. Go for
but
it.
but I gotta say it. Jonah Hill,
That's who I connected with too.
like, cause look, I don't give a shit. I am special. I'm important. Anything I want, I'm gonna get, and I deserve to have it. I am privileged. Kiss my fucking ass. I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I feel.
It's
Even
it's
though I'm not, but that's the way my mindset is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. For me, it's less that. It's more stop stop penalizing me for who I am.
Indeed.
Just because you don't understand who I am doesn't
Mm,
mean I'm not being me. Like
mm,
stop penalizing me for who you think I should be.
mm.
And I felt like that a lot in my life where I felt misunderstood because I guess there's times where I come across as playing a part instead of just me being who I am.
Yeah.
You know? Let me okay, so this
Excuse
is
me.
okay, here's something else that I didn't like about again, I like this movie.
Okay.
Here's something I didn't like about the movie.
Okay.
The transitions from scene to scene. Like it would go from and it have like this weird like
Graffiti type.
yeah, and I'm like
Okay.
it just felt like someone found this thing on their computer screen. They're like, oh, let's use this. This is cool. Like it wasn't. I don't think it added to the feel of the movie at all. I think it was more distracting than anything.
Well, let's go back to the beginning of the conversation. I think, like you said, it relates to today's age of people, where it's like they're they look. Everybody's dating everybody nowadays, which
Yep.
wasn't accepted like 5 years ago. Let's be real about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Maybe farther than 5 years.
no, it was never accepted. But it's like 5 years ago. It's like when it's
See, well, maybe you seen Life, man.
But that's what I'm saying.
Fucking what was his name? Who was the dude that played baseball in life? Who got the
Can't
white
get
girl
right.
pregnant? Which one of y'all is is this baby's father?
I'm the Pappy. There you go. The Bernie Mac, man. Missed that dude. Didn't even know, but I missed it.
Yeah.
But
But no, I mean, I feel like okay, go ahead. Go with what you were saying.
I'm still trying to get it all back. But
You were saying
shit.
like people like within the last 10, 15 years, it wasn't accepted to date someone outside of the race.
Yeah, and I feel like now, like I said, they're showing interracial couples on TV, on
Yeah.
commercials. Look, for the first time in my 37 years of living, I saw a black Santa Claus on a commercial. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're
Shit.
yeah, thank you.
That reminds me.
But no,
because I have a piece of a Christmas present I still need to send you.
but what I'm saying is it's being accepted now. Like Malcolm X said something. He said the most powerful tool in this world that we live in is the media.
Yeah.
Whatever they show on TV or say on the radio is what we constantly hear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like even as a truck driver, I'll just turn the radio on for background noise and don't really care.
Yeah.
But you subliminally hear some shit that's getting stuck in your head.
Yeah.
So now it's like they're putting it out there for the world to see that hey, it's okay for us all to be one people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, that's what Eddie Murphy said. He goes, eventually, we can all have all light brown kids because the black people aren't marrying the black people.
Mhm.
They're all mixing and stuff like that. Which to me, I have no issue with. I think at some point we're all going to be caramel. We're all going to be Dunkin' Donuts medium cream 2 sugars. But
Really?
I mean, yeah, because I mean that's just the way of the world. Like if you truly want, to grow the species as well as it can be,
Mm-hmm.
then you can't cut off, all these different cultures and just stick to your own, because
Mhm.
otherwise you're only going to get, a small breadth of what the world can be. Now, I understand that with all that intermingling, you're losing a lot of your cultures, and we just got to do a better job of making sure we hold on to the cultures that we have and the nuances of each culture, but being accepting of everything else and being accepting of the fact that someone might be into your culture even though you don't identify with them.
And like I said, I think that's just the old school way.
Yeah. I don't blame
Because
them, but it's going to take time for kids that grow up nowadays
Mhm.
aren't going to look at interracial relationships as odd, because
No.
that's who we grew up again, and that's how life works.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So yeah.
that's it. I mean, it's
Taking a shot.
all right, I'll take it. But it was it's okay. So like like I said, I like the messaging of the movie.
Mhm.
I just don't know if I like the execution of it all that much, just because, like, first of all, okay, me and you, we best friends. We talk all the
Indeed.
time. Talk all the
Indeed.
time. And I swear to God, our conversations don't look nearly as awkward as Jonah Hill and his best friend. Because the way they sat and talked did not come across as like how best friends would talk.
It takes a long time to meet to get a best friend, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll agree with that. You can't manufacture that shit.
No, hell no. That shit has to be natural.
Yeah.
Like,
And I
like
just
I,
don't when they had conversations, it didn't come across as natural. It came across as,
it's a
hey,
movie.
man. Well, no, but I'm saying, but okay, I get it's a movie,
Mm-hmm.
but when you watch Ben Affleck and Matt Damon interact in a movie, because they're real friends.
Thank you, you
It
piece of
come,
shit.
it come
Because I
across,
asked you, have you ever seen a person that's acting look like they're their real self? And you
no,
just said it.
no, but this is what I'm saying. When they interact with each other in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
it comes across as two real friends. I
Okay.
don't think Jonah Hill and fucking That's So Raven's little brother. I don't think they came across as true best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I think they came across as we're playing best friends.
And you know what's funny? Because I felt like if this is really good acting or it's real life. But I felt like Jonah Hill and Lauren London's character were actually either friends or becoming friends with this movie
Yeah,
versus his character with his podcast friend
yeah.
as being best
Their
friends.
their relationship felt more honest than Jonah Hill and his best friend.
Yeah.
Because like just the silliness they had with each other when they were like in their apartment,
Hmm.
arguing with each other and shit like that. Like, I thought that was good. Cheers.
So, oh yeah, shit. Shot time.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Cheers.
No, I gotta slow it down. I got shit to do.
Let me ask you a question.
Hmm.
You go to Vegas and all your friends pull out coke like that. You partaking?
Nah, I told you my drug days are over. I don't do drugs no more.
I thought that was fucked up that Eddie Murphy tagged along just to make sure he had a fucked up time at his bachelor party. Yeah.
No, Eddie Murphy was his character was to be the douchebag dad.
I get it. I get it. But like that's one of those situations. Could you are you gonna be that type of dad for Aurelia? Are you
No,
gonna be the dad that says, the boyfriend or the fiance has to be what I want them to be, otherwise he ain't good enough?
no. Honestly, after watching that movie that we did, nothing to hide.
Yep.
That conversation that the dad gives his daughter in that movie,
Mhm.
I can't find something better than that.
Yeah.
And my daughter's already crazy. Like she is her own person. The only person that can control her kinda is me.
Yeah.
Like she does what she wants to do, and I've always been that way too. I do what I want to do. You're not gonna stop me. If I'm focused, I'm focused. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
So, um, when she gets older, whatever the case may be, I'm only gonna try to help her if I know she's going the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like if I know whatever she's about to, because look, I'm a stickler for doing shit that I get fucked up behind.
Yeah.
This is what I do. But if I know it's gonna kill you, I'm gonna stop you. If I know you're gonna get hurt, go deal with the pain because you have to understand what you just did.
So you're gonna trust her judgment? What if she
Unless I was gonna kill her.
what if she comes home one day and be like, Dad, this is my fiance Mandingo 93 and
Out of all names, seriously, Mandingo 93.
first of all, if my daughter showed up with a dude named Mandingo 93, I'd be like,
Look,
how the hell you got numbers in your name?
I'm telling. No, I'm where'd y'all meet? You know what I'm saying? What website do I need to not watch?
Like, where'd y'all meet? We Old Country Buffet. He was grabbing the
Shit.
potatoes, and I just, I try to scoop some up too, and our spoons locked, and that's just how it happened.
You said if she came home, Mandingo 93, get the fuck out of here. Hell no.
But nah, dog. Okay, my daughter's last name ain't gonna be 93.
Shit. Oh man, that's terrible.
All right. Final thoughts on You People, the movie.
Honestly, I think we can go like so much more, but the movie had so much to offer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It-
When I first started watching, I thought it was just gonna be a surface level comedy
Mhm.
just for the TikTok age. But
Mm.
as it went on, there's so much nuance to it that I started to like really like the movie. And my
Mm.
favorite scene in the movie is when Jonah Hill and Lauren London they separate, because it was very
Okay.
because it wasn't this drawn out fucking scenario where where one character is putting everything their heart out on the table, and then the other one puts their heart out on the table, and they decide to separate. It was just kind of a this like, I can't deal with this shit. This ain't gonna work. And like, it was almost like they wanted to open up, but it hurt too much to open up. So they kind of just like walked away from each other before they could hurt each other. I
Mm.
thought that was so fucking real, because I was like, I've been in that scenario where
Mm.
you want to say so much to someone you love, and you want to tell them like why it isn't gonna work out, but it's just like, I just got to just say my piece and walk away before anything else happens.
Yeah.
You know?
Excuse me. And the funny thing is, they both knew that their parents were the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, they knew it had nothing to do with them. It was just like there's this standard that's being put out in front of me that I can't live up to.
Mm. Yeah. I don't know. It's a lot to take in. Like I said, I actually want to watch it again just because I feel like I missed some things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting movie.
It's definitely deserves at least a couple watches. Once I can get past the fucking the dialogue.
The first 10 minutes.
Bro, that shit, it was man. No, I ain't ever used the word lit in my life.
No, I don't use lit, I don't use fleek or none of that shit.
Yeah, it's just the way they talk. And I guess that's I'm an old head now. I've accepted it. I'm a fucking old head, and there's some of that shit don't make sense to me.
No, hold on, what were our words? That's dope. That's hot.
Dope,
that's fat.
fat.
Pretty hot and tempting. Look,
Yep.
I don't use it, but I still hold it here. It sits right here. It don't go nowhere.
Yeah. I haven't used it in a while. I'm gonna start using it again.
Pretty hot and tempting. Come on now. That's a dope acronym.
Yeah, bro, that's fat. I don't know. It's like I still use old ones. I still use solid. Yeah, do me a solid. Do me a solid and just take care of this one. I don't look at it, but hey, solid.
Nah.
That's a little too jigaboo for me.
Oh man, this is funny.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I liked the exploration into the idea that like two people can have a lot in common and want to be together, and it's a lot of outside forces that can force them apart.
Definitely.
That's something that is it's not really explored a lot, and it's the idea that like sometimes it's not the people, it's the people around them.
Yeah,
that end up making the relationship toxic.
The people around you are extremely important. Like I've heard this saying, you're only gonna go as the people you keep around you. You're only gonna go as far as the people you keep around you.
Yeah.
And the older I get, the more I realize that. You know what I'm saying? If your circle consists of people that drink all the time, that's all you're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If your circle consists of people that are active and play sports, then you're part of that circle. Yeah. And I think that's why I've always tried to keep a circle of different people to go different ways, because everybody brings something to the table.
Yeah, if you surround yourself with people who only want to be hood fabulous, as far as you're gonna get in life.
Yeah,
that's it.
So that question goes to how far do you want to go? Like where do you want to go? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I honestly, I don't know where I want to go, but I don't want to go. But I know I want to go everywhere, except for Australia. I'm going to Australia.
Yeah,
that's got to happen.
You should. There's a lot of Asian people there. Maybe right up your alley. I'm gonna go up there and be like, not you. Give me those Australian white women.
Look, you gonna find them with the biggest boots and the biggest beard and be happy.
You're gonna go there and they're like, I want me an Aborigine, and I ain't leaving with that one.
Oh man.
All right. So yeah, like I said earlier, okay, final thoughts on the movie. Like, what's your biggest takeaway from this movie?
My biggest takeaway: fuck everybody. Be you and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Love who you want to love. Be who you want to be. Just be real about it. Don't do the shit to impress other people.
Yeah.
Fuck them. Do what you do what helps you sleep better at night.
It's very similar to my takeaway is it's not a crime to be who you are. It's not like, just if you're gonna be you and be unapologetic about it.
See, this is why you're Martin Luther King, not Malcolm X, because I said that shit straight to the point, and you made it sound real educated and pretty.
I mean, that's why you wear do-rags and I wear beanies. Like, that's the way it goes.
It is. It is what it is.
You are here by any means necessary. I'm like, there are other means, not just,
get the job done. You ever had sex with a beautiful woman? It's like, you got to get her off. You do whatever's necessary to make sure she's happy.
You said you ever had sex
if she says lick my fingers, you do that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, but you're by any means necessary. Like to you, it's I'm getting off. I don't. It doesn't matter if it's a beautiful woman or not. I'm getting off.
No,
Or
no.
you fucking you'd fuck a fucking a seashell if it meant you're good for the night.
If that seashell wanted to be happy and I was part of that happiness, I'm gonna make it happen. I don't know how. It's a fucking seashell, but shit. Hey, shit, leave me alone. Oh man.
Well, as always, that's our episode for today. This is Sarath and Chris's.
I couldn't let it go. I had to go there.
Oh shit. Oh, like, dude. Nah, I might have to turn this movie on again.
No, I want to watch it again. I have to.
I might have to turn it on again. I might have just not pay attention to the way they talk. Okay, so after watching the movie, again, we talked about this in the beginning. Now at the end, after we talked about it, can you see someone who looks like Jonah Hill and acts like Jonah Hill getting together with someone who looks and acts like Lauren London?
Yeah.
Oh, no, okay, no, sorry. Wrong question. Because nearing the end, I'm trying to be judicial about the question that I asked you. So, do you think the movie was uneven in portraying white people and black people?
Yes and no. Because they preferred they preferred every white person to be Jewish. That was the main character was Jewish.
Yeah.
You know. But on the other side, no. We all got our own problems. We all got our own way of thinking. You know, we all want to be successful and, like I said, go somewhere. Yeah. So, yeah. And then all black people ain't Muslim. I'm gonna fucking kufi, whatever the fuck the shit was that Murphy had on. I'm just saying.
That kufi from fucking, what is it? From
fucking Farrakhan.
Yeah, look. They stomped that shit out.
Yeah, for real.
They got a little bit left. First of all, you can't say you only got a little bit left when I clearly watched you stomp the fucking flame out and there was still a whole ass fucking, kufi left. You could have just said, like, it's wrinkled.
Yeah.
I still think in watching the movie that it unfairly painted white people as offensive and black people as, they can do no wrong. I still think it portrayed them as that. I mean, I know they tried to rectify it by making Eddie Murphy be like he, might have been a little too hard on Jonah Hill, but him being a little hard on Jonah Hill and Julie Louis-Dreyfus being offensive was way too uneven.
What'd you call her? Julie Louis? Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Julie Louis-Dreyfus, right?
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
I don't know how to say it. I don't never watch Seinfeld.
You said Julie Louis. Okay, cool. Fair enough. Whatever.
But I mean, it still felt a little uneven. Like it felt like we can't offend black people, and it's okay to offend white people. Or it's okay to portray white people as offensive, but we can't offend black people. Instead of making it even, going across the board.
I can see that.
That's my only take from the movie. Or not only take, but that's one of my takes from the movie. Is that like?
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. Well, that was you people.
That's you people.
Yeah. You people made this movie.
Fucking ramen and Jabberwockies over here, man.
All right, well,
oh man. Shit.
That's this episode. Again, it's your boy Sarath, aka Makazi,
and your boy Chris Brown, aka Ready for Delta. Y'all be good.
Yes, and just remember, no matter what we say, just remember, we ain't shit. We out.